If you click this video, then you probably understand that inside of you there is a dark side. It may only be a very small part of your personality, but inside of every single man there is an element of evil. Now, that evil, when used correctly, that dark side, when mastered, yields great power, yields the ability to bring you everything that you ever wanted. Now, the dark side is that part of your personality that never really shines through that much. Due to the way you've been conditioned when you were younger, it's your secret desires, the things you want to say that you want, the things that you know that you really want in your mind, but society doesn't agree with them. It doesn't allow you to have these great grand fantasies of your life or power and fame, that killer instinct that you know you have inside that maybe you've seen a couple of times in a fit of rage but quickly got rid of. It's all the grand visions that you have that you might think are selfish, that you might think are very, very dark. It's the fantasies. It could be even sexual stuff inside of your life. It's the things that you don't tell anyone, the thing at the back of your brain where you think, okay, I'm a little bit fucked up. That's the dark side. Now, the power of the dark side can be seen very easily. Once I tell you about this concept and you think about it, you can look at most powerful individuals in the world and understand that they're very in touch with their dark side. So the dark side has the power to create. It can be controlled. Look at John Jones. It's probably one of the easiest characters to look at and think, wow, he's very, very close to his dark side. He's on either side of the scale. Sometimes it controls him, sometimes he controls it. In an interview he said, he was asked if he's a good guy who's made mistakes or whether he's a bad guy who's trying to be good. And he said he's a bad guy and he's trying to be good. That's how he feels about his life. So the dark side is very, very strong in John Jones, and it's created an animal, one of the best, if not the best, UFC fighter to ever live. But when that spills over, when that goes out of control in his personal life, John Jones can self-destruct. He can use that dark side for bad. That dark side gets him in a lot of trouble, makes him do things that maybe he doesn't want to do. So the power of the dark side is unbelievable when used, and you can see that. To be successful, you have to have an element of the dark side because it's what pushes you forwards. The men with zero dark side would not need the things. They would not aspire to be the men that these men are. This is driven by a dark force, this kind of fame and success, this kind of power. Someone who does it incredibly well is Michael Jordan. He's got very good control of his dark side. People like Mike Tyson and McGregor, on the other hand, are in the balance. They're hung in the balance. Sometimes it controls them, sometimes they control it. They've achieved incredible things, but at other times got themselves in big trouble. If you look at pretty much any very famous or successful male, there is always a scandal. The dark side is always there in these people. It's absolutely necessary for success, but without control, it will drag you straight back down again. Now, most people become scared of their dark side when they're very young. At a point in your life, you probably felt the power of the dark side of your personality. You probably did something or said something that you wanted to. You got yourself in trouble and you fought someone or you hit someone at school. You shouted back at a teacher. You felt that power inside of you to get what you want, to go out there and grasp it with both hands. Now, I had a situation where I started to become in touch with my dark side around 20 years old. I started to learn the power of controlled aggression and understood the confidence it could give me as I trained for my first MMA fight. Now, as I trained for that fight, I let a lot of darkness consume me. I let myself watch a lot of dark things, not particularly crazy, but dark things like a lot of fighting, a lot of brutal boxing matches, and a lot of my mind and my focus had turned to violence and becoming that dark power, a fighter that could win that fight. That was a lot of my personality. Now, as I found that dark side and I won my first MMA fight, I was filled with the confidence and power that dark side can give you. The ability to crush an opponent and the feelings that you get of confidence after doing something like that. So I found my dark side and ran with it. So after my fight, I became very confident. My life started to take on it had a new vigor to it. So I'd go out with friends, and before maybe I didn't get attention from girls in the club, I was now getting attention. I was now getting girls coming up to me. They could sense my aura had changed, and I was unscared of a lot of things. I was controlling my dark side. Now, after that fight, I went out and I partied, and I ended up cheating on a girlfriend that I had at the time. Now, that was the dark side using its power. And that was something that I wanted to do. I was experiencing the power of the dark side and I wanted to follow it. I wanted to go with it. I wanted to cheat. I wanted to do that stuff. But rather than embrace the dark side at that point in my life, I was ashamed of it. So I lied to my girlfriend. When she asked me if something had happened, I lied to her and lied to her, and I got found out. And rather than just embracing my dark side and say, yes, I did do that. I saw a girl, I wanted to do it, I cheated, I'm sorry, but I've done it now. It's up to you if you stay or leave. That would be the correct way to use the dark side and understand it. I pushed it away. I said, that wasn't me. I'm sorry. And I pushed that all away. I pushed that part of my personality down. I got rid of it all. And I pushed all that confidence away with it because I wanted to stay with that girlfriend at the time because I was weak. I was weak in the mind. I didn't want to lose that thing. So I pushed the dark side away. I pushed that confidence and that new ego that I'd found. I'd pushed that all away, and what I really wanted in my life. I pushed it down. And I spent a few years really trying to find myself again because I was trying to get away, and I ran scared from that dark side of my personality, from that side that had made me confident and powerful with the ability to choose my own destiny. And I hid it for a couple of years. Now, you have probably had a time in your life that you can think of, maybe with your parents or teachers or a girlfriend, a similar situation to mine, where you started to feel the essence of being a man, of that power inside of you, that masculine presence. But you were shamed for it. You were told it was wrong. You were told to be ashamed of it and that you can't do the thing that you did. And you pushed your dark side away as well. You hid from it. And you pushed it deep down into your personality. And maybe that's why you're one of the kind of people that when you see a successful individual or a violent individual, somebody who's a fighter or very successful, you get jealous and you can't understand them. You're intimidated by other men. That's because you're scared of the dark side. Now, every single person, I don't care who you are, no matter how weak, no matter how fragile, no matter how peaceful you think you are, everybody has a dark side somewhere deep, deep down. Now, those who claim they don't have it are usually the darkest of them all because they don't look at their dark side and understand it and know that it's just a part of their personality. They see it as this, like a forbidden fruit, something they can never taste, and we know what that does. That makes it more active in their mind. So a great analogy, I think, for this is if you look at Stu from The Hangover, he is the squared away dentist. He does not party, he's not aggressive, he's not in touch with that masculine side of himself. He doesn't really want to go on the fucking stag do, he doesn't want to get into trouble, and he's weak in his life. In Hangover 2, when he gets married to the Thai girl and they're at the dinner before the wedding, the father says Stu is like some kind of sticky white rice that's very bland and flavourless, and that he's just a bit of a pussy, basically, and he calls him out. Stu is 0% in touch with his dark side here. He's scared of it and he's pushed it away, he thinks it's wrong. People like that, when they become unhinged, when you give them drink or alcohol or drugs, those kind of things, they're the craziest of them all. Look at Stu goes from this guy that won't even touch a drink to getting a Mike Tyson tattoo on his face and fucking a ladyboy in the second Hangover movie. So normally the people, when it's hidden miles behind the personality, the dark side will come out in the craziest of ways. So it's much better to befriend and understand the dark side and incorporate it into your personality, and I'll go on how you do that and why, than to bury it deep. When you bury it deep, you become this person as soon as the fucking lid gets taken off, and that'll get you in big trouble. It can be awakened. Now, when you control the dark side, you will find the individuals you are most drawn to, the ones with the most charisma, are ones that are very close to the dark side. They understand it. They are working together in unison. It will make you more charismatic. It will breathe new life into you. It will win you respect from other people. The dark side will be that Tyler Durden. It's everything that you want. It's everything you want to be. He protects you. He's there to make sure you don't take shit from other people, to win you respect. The closer you get to that, the closer you get to working both at the same time, whilst in control, the more powerful you will become. Now, I think you should identify your dark side. I think you should become friends with it. And I think you should do this activity to allow yourself to do that. This should be a private thing. This should be written on paper and it will be destroyed after you've written it. But I want you to have a look and think, what are your deepest desires for material things? If you could have anything you want, what do you want? If you really wanted to splash out and you didn't care about having an ego, what car do you want to drive? What coats do you want to wear? What fucking clothes? What sunglasses? What house do you want to live in? All of that stuff. What are your success desires? Who do you want to be? You want to be the president? You want that power? You want to be a fucking heavyweight boxer? All of this is just desires. This is that darkness inside of you. I want you to write all of that down. Write your wildest sexual fantasies. Write what they are. You're not following through with them. There's no judgment here. It's only you that's going to see it. But write this out. Understand this is inside of you. Do not be ashamed of it. Write it inside of you and understand that you can control it. Do not hide from it. Tyler Durden in Fight Club is everything that Ed Norton's character wants to be, if he wasn't scared to be it. I want you to write all of those things down. Think about the time someone shamed you. Why were you shamed? What was it that was wrong that you did? Now, the reason you need to write all of that down and understand it is because that's the source of the power. The dark side wants power. It wants to grab onto power. It wants these things. Now, you will start to feel a feeling inside of you. It feels like that. Like a monkey. It feels like that inside of you. When you think these things, you're like, that's the feeling that you're going to focus on. That's the feeling that's going to give you that extra power. And I'm going to teach you how to use that. But before we go into that, there's a warning. I must give you a warning. You must control the dark side to find this power. It can help you get everything you want, or it can send you to jail. The dark side is a two-sided coin. It will send you on either path depending on how well you can control it. And you might see the dark side appear in your life like this. If you get high on cocaine, you will feel powerful. The dark side wants power. If the easiest way without control for the dark side to feel power is to get on cocaine and fucking chat shit, beat people up or whatever, that's what it will do if you don't control it. If you fuck 5 strippers or have a load of hookers over to your house, you'll feel powerful for the evening. You'll feel the man in charge. If you don't control the dark side, that's what it will do. But if you give the dark side a goal, you win a boxing match, you build a successful business, it will feel that power. You buy your first sports car. Those are the things you want to control your dark side to do. You want to take that same feeling of desire and transmute it into power for the right things. You must give it creative outlets. So when you feel this power, you feel that need to do something, you need to give it challenge. You're going to feel a lot of desires in your life, especially for things like sex, and you need to find a way to take that sexual energy and make it creative. You must feed the dark side challenge. You must show him the path. You must know he is there, identify who he is, and then find the creative outlets, the things that you want, the positive things in your life that you're going to channel him into. Times when you're in the gym and you want to quit and you understand, no, I can't quit. I've got that fucking animal inside of me. He's still there, and you use him then. In competition, in sport, in business, when everyone else feels like quitting, you know there's an animal inside of you, and that's when you unleash him. You say, okay, you take the reins now, buddy. This is your time, and you let him take you to the end. So boys, I hope that's been interesting for you. The dark side is something that I'm very close with. I live very close to my dark side, and I'm very in touch with it, and I feel it provides me with great power, great strength, and it allows me to train harder than other people. It allows me to focus and win and go towards my goals, and I'm not scared of it. I understand it, and I make it my goal to control it. So I wanted to share that with you boys. I hope that has helped, and I hope that you guys understand that and can use your dark side for good to achieve everything you've ever wanted. Boys, it's been a pleasure, and I will see you on the next one. Whoop-ow, whoop-ow, whoop-ow! That's fucking dark. Dark side coming out right now.